Happiness is not something that magically appears in our lives one fine morning. It's not a gift wrapped in shiny paper waiting for us to unwrap it. It's not even a permanent state of being that we stumble upon by accident. Happiness is a choice, a practice, a discipline, something we must push ourselves to create every single day. Every morning when we wake up, life gives us two options: to live reacting to what happens around us, or to live responding consciously to what happens within us. The first one drains our energy, while the second one transforms our life. The truth is, happiness is not found. It is made, crafted with effort, awareness, and intention. Many people wait for external events to feel happy. A promotion, a relationship, a new phone, a holiday. But notice how temporary those bursts of joy are. The moment the novelty fades, the emptiness returns. Why? Because happiness built on external foundations will always be fragile. To truly be happy, we must take responsibility for our own emotional well-being. We must stop outsourcing our peace to people and circumstances. The weather will change, people will change, life will change. But our ability to stay joyful amidst it all should not depend on them. That's why happiness is not a reward. It's a result of how we think, how we live, and how we choose to see things. Each day, we have to push ourselves to rise above the noise of negativity. Our mind naturally gravitates toward complaints, worries, and comparisons. It's almost like it's programmed to focus on what's missing. To be happy, we must consciously reprogram it to focus on what's present, what's working, and what's beautiful. That takes effort. It's not easy to smile when life throws challenges at you. It's not easy to stay calm when things don't go your way. But that's exactly why the word push matters. Just like physical exercise strengthens the body, mental exercise strengthens the heart and mind. The more we push ourselves to think positively, to forgive, to let go, to appreciate, the stronger our happiness muscle becomes. Some days you won't feel like smiling. That's okay. Some days gratitude will feel forced. That's okay too. Because happiness isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding light even in the imperfect moments. It's about saying, I may not have everything I want, but I still have so much to be thankful for. It's about reminding yourself that no matter how tough the day seems, there's always something good to notice, even if it's just the breath you're taking right now. When you push yourself to look for small joys, a good cup of tea, a friend's message, a sunset, a laugh, you slowly retrain your brain to live in appreciation rather than frustration. You see, happiness doesn't come from running away from problems, but from growing through them. Every challenge is an opportunity to evolve. Every disappointment teaches resilience. Every heartbreak expands your capacity to love. The push to be happy is not about denying pain. It's about not letting pain define you. It's about rising each day with a heart that says, I will not let this world steal my smile. That mindset is what separates people who merely exist from those who truly live. If we think about it, every day is a blank page. We can either fill it with complaints or gratitude. We can focus on what went wrong yesterday, or we can choose to make today better. The push to be happy is really a push to be mindful, to live in the present, not trapped by regrets of the past or anxieties about the future. When we consciously bring our awareness to the now, Happiness naturally follows. Start small. Smile at strangers. Listen deeply when someone talks. Help without expecting. Appreciate without reason. Forgive quickly. These little acts build emotional strength. When we do good for others, we feel good ourselves. That's the beautiful paradox of happiness. It grows when we give it away. At the end of the day, the happiest people aren't those who have the best of everything, but those who make the best of everything they have. They have trained their minds to see the good, even when the bad is loud. They've learned that life is too short to wait for happiness. It must be created, cultivated, and protected daily. So, push yourself to smile when you don't feel like it, to thank when you'd rather complain, to be kind when it's easier to be cold, to hope when life feels heavy. The push may be small, but its power is immense, because one small push practiced every day becomes a habit. And that habit becomes a way of life. And when happiness becomes your way of life, no storm can shake your peace, no circumstance can steal your joy, and no person can take away the glow of your inner contentment. Happiness, after all, is not a destination we reach. It's the journey we create step by step, thought by thought, day by day. The mind is like a mirror. It reflects whatever you place before it. If you place negativity, anger, or resentment in front of it, that's exactly what you'll see reflected back in your life. But if you feed it peace, gratitude, and optimism, it will shine that light back into everything you do. The mind can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. That's why learning to train it wisely is one of the most important journeys of life. Because an untrained mind doesn't just bring unhappiness, it multiplies it. The quality of your thoughts becomes the quality of your day, and the quality of your days becomes the quality of your life. If we don't take charge of our mind, it takes charge of us. Most people believe that happiness depends on external factors, people treating us right, situations going our way, things falling into place. But in truth, happiness is always an internal game. It's not what happens to you that determines your peace. It's how you interpret what happens. The same event that breaks one person can strengthen another. The difference lies not in the event, but in the mind that experiences it. That's why we must learn to make the mind our ally, not our enemy. A mind that complains, compares, and criticizes will never be at peace. But a mind that observes, understands, and accepts will always find calm even amidst chaos. Training the mind is like training a wild horse. At first it resists, runs away, and refuses to listen, but with patience and persistence it learns to follow your command. Our mind, too, has habits, patterns of thought that have been built over years. Some of these patterns serve us, while others sabotage us. If we constantly think, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "nobody cares," we end up creating a reality filled with pain and limitation. But if we begin to think, "I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm doing my best," we slowly begin to build an inner world where peace and joy become natural. The mind repeats what it's taught. So the more you train it with empowering thoughts, the more peaceful and content it becomes. Think of your mind as a garden. You can't stop weeds from growing, but you can stop them from taking over. Similarly, you can't stop negative thoughts from appearing, but you can stop them from controlling you. When a negative thought arises, fear, jealousy, or anger, you can pause and say, "This is just a thought, not my truth." you can choose to replace it with something better. Meditation, prayer, journaling, or simply breathing deeply are small ways to bring the mind back under control. Every time you redirect your thoughts toward peace, you are training your mental muscles. A disciplined mind leads to a joyful life. But discipline doesn't mean suppression. It doesn't mean forcing yourself to ignore your emotions. It means guiding your emotions with wisdom. If someone hurts you, your untrained mind says, "They don't respect me, I'll never forgive them." Your trained mind says, "They acted out of their pain, but I won't lose my peace over it." See the difference? The situation is the same, but the reaction changes everything. A calm mind gives you power, while a restless mind gives power away. One of the biggest secrets to happiness is learning to observe your mind rather than getting lost in it. When you feel sad or angry, don't say, "I am sad." Say, "I am noticing sadness." That small shift turns you from the emotion's victim into its witness. The more you practice observing your thoughts, the less control they have over you. Eventually, the storms of the mind stop scaring you. You learn to stand calmly in the rain, knowing it will pass. We must also feed our mind wisely. What we read, watch, and listen to becomes the food for our thoughts. If you fill your mind with negativity, gossip, and fear, don't be surprised if you feel anxious and restless. But if you fill it with kindness, inspiration, and gratitude, you'll notice your mood lift naturally. The mind digests thoughts the way the body digests food. Feed it junk and it becomes weak. Feed it nourishment and it becomes strong. Every morning, take a moment to check in with your mind. Ask yourself, what kind of thoughts am I feeding it today? Just a few minutes of awareness can set the tone for your entire day. Remind yourself that your thoughts are powerful. They create your reality. Choose them with care. When the mind learns to focus on what's right instead of what's wrong, happiness begins to flow effortlessly. Remember, the mind is not your enemy. It's just untrained. With compassion, patience, and daily practice, it can become your greatest friend. It can protect your peace in difficult times and magnify your joy in good ones. The true art of happiness lies not in changing life, but in changing the lens through which the mind sees life. When your mind learns to see blessings where others see burdens, opportunities where others see obstacles, and lessons where others see losses, that's when you'll know it has become your best friend. And when your mind becomes your friend, every day becomes a step toward deeper peace, clearer purpose, and lasting happiness. ChatGPT said, "Gratitude is the quiet magic that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It turns what we have into enough and more. It shifts our focus from what's missing in life to what's already there. The blessings we often overlook while chasing something bigger, faster, or newer. Gratitude is not a reaction. It's a conscious choice, an inner attitude that says, 'I choose to see the good, even when life isn't perfect.'" When we learn to cultivate gratitude daily, happiness no longer becomes dependent on circumstances. It becomes a natural state of being. Gratitude, in truth, is the fuel that sustains daily joy. We live in a world that constantly tells us to want more success, more wealth, more attention. The constant comparison and competition create a restless hunger that never seems to end. But when we pause and look around, we begin to see how much we already have to be thankful for: the breath in our lungs, the food on our plate, the people who care for us, and the countless blessings we take for granted every single day. Gratitude grounds us. It brings us back to the present moment. It reminds us that joy is not found in acquiring more, but in appreciating deeply. A grateful heart can find light even in the darkest times. When we go through pain or disappointment, our mind naturally focuses on what went wrong. But gratitude helps us shift that focus to what went right. The lessons learned, the people who stood by us, the strength we discovered within ourselves. Even in loss, gratitude allows us to appreciate the love we once had. Even in failure, it helps us recognize the courage it took to try. Gratitude does not erase pain, but it gives us the wisdom to see meaning within it. Sometimes gratitude is not loud or dramatic. It's gentle and quiet. It's the silent thank you whispered when you wake up in the morning, the deep breath taken after a long day, the smile shared with a stranger, the peace that comes from realizing you are alive and capable of starting again. It's those small acknowledgments that slowly build a mindset of contentment. Gratitude is like a seed. The more you water it, the more it grows, filling your life with abundance that can't be measured by material things. It's easy to be grateful when everything goes right, but the real test comes when life doesn't go as planned. That's when gratitude requires strength. It asks us to look deeper, to find something to appreciate, even when circumstances seem unfair. Maybe the situation didn't work out, but it protected you from something worse. Maybe someone walked away, but it made space for better connections. Maybe you faced rejection, but it redirected you toward growth. Gratitude doesn't change what happened, but it changes how you feel about it, and that change makes all the difference. To push yourself to be happy every day, you must push yourself to be grateful every day. It takes awareness to see blessings that hide in plain sight. The more we practice gratitude, the more our mind becomes trained to notice positivity instead of problems. Science even shows that people who keep gratitude journals, who write down 3 things they are thankful for each day, begin to rewire their brains for happiness. Their focus shifts from lack to abundance, from frustration to fulfillment. Gratitude literally changes the way we experience life. When you practice gratitude, you start seeing beauty in the simplest things, in the warmth of sunlight, in the laughter of a friend, in the silence of a peaceful evening. You stop chasing after happiness and start realizing it's already within you. You no longer wait for big achievements to feel joy, because you begin to find it in the present moment. Gratitude opens your eyes to how rich life already is. But to truly live in gratitude, one must also express it. Say thank you more often to the people who help you, to those who challenge you, even to those who unknowingly teach you patience. Expressing gratitude strengthens relationships and spreads positivity. When someone feels appreciated, they too feel inspired to pass it forward. Gratitude has a ripple effect. One act of thankfulness can change the mood of a day, the tone of a conversation, and the atmosphere of a home. Gratitude also humbles us. It reminds us that we are not the center of the universe, that many people contribute silently to our happiness, from the farmer who grows our food to the friend who listens when we're low. Gratitude keeps our ego in check and fills our heart with compassion. It softens the rough edges of pride and replaces them with kindness. Each night before you sleep, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what went right today? What am I thankful for? Some days, the answer will come easily: a success, a smile, a moment of peace. Other days it might be harder, but that's when gratitude works its greatest magic. Even if all you can say is, "I'm thankful that today is over and I get another chance tomorrow," that's enough. Gratitude doesn't demand perfection, only presence. When gratitude becomes a daily practice, happiness stops being something you chase. It becomes something you carry. You stop needing everything to go right because your peace no longer depends on the outside world. Gratitude gives you emotional strength, spiritual depth, and mental clarity. It's the gentle reminder that life is not measured by what we have, but by how deeply we appreciate it. And when your heart lives in that state, every breath, every step, every moment becomes a reason to smile. True happiness begins when you stop waiting for perfect moments and start making every moment perfect. Most people spend their lives waiting for the right job, the right partner, the right opportunity, or the right day to finally be happy. They tell themselves, "I'll be happy when things settle down," or "I'll be happy when I achieve this goal." But the truth is, life never settles down completely. There will always be challenges, imperfections, and uncertainties. If we keep postponing happiness until everything falls into place, we'll spend our entire lives waiting. Happiness isn't found in the future. It's created in the present. It's not something that happens when life becomes perfect. It's what makes life beautiful even when it isn't. The illusion of someday is one of the biggest traps that steals our joy. We think happiness will come when we reach a milestone, when we graduate, get married, buy a home, or achieve our dream. But every time we reach one milestone, the mind immediately moves the finish line further. It whispers, "You'll be happier when you get the next thing." That's how people end up living their whole life in pursuit, not presence. The truth is, perfect moments don't exist naturally. They're created when we choose to appreciate what's in front of us. When we learn to live fully in each moment with awareness and gratitude, even an ordinary day can become extraordinary. It's important to understand that happiness is not the absence of problems. It's the ability to handle them with peace. Life will test you, people will disappoint you, plans will fail. But amidst all of it, there will still be laughter, love, and little moments of joy. The art of living lies in balancing both, not waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. Some of the happiest people aren't those with the easiest lives, but those who have learned to smile through their struggles. They've discovered that peace doesn't come from controlling life, but from accepting it and making the best of it. Each day is a gift, though we often treat it like a guarantee. We wake up and rush into our routines, forgetting that this day, with its imperfections and possibilities, will never come again. If we keep waiting for ideal circumstances to enjoy our lives, we'll miss the beauty of what's already here. Maybe the tea isn't hot enough, maybe traffic was bad, maybe your plans didn't go perfectly, but in every imperfect moment, there's something worth cherishing. The smile of a loved one, the calm of the evening, the chance to start again, these are life's perfect imperfections. The key is to stop chasing what's missing and start embracing what's present. When you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's available, life begins to feel lighter. You start realizing that happiness isn't hidden in the grand events. It's hidden in the small, everyday things. The quiet sunrise, the sound of rain, a shared laugh, a kind gesture, a peaceful walk, these are the threads that weave a joyful life. But to notice them, you have to slow down. You have to push yourself to be present, to see, to feel. The moment you start truly living the now, the need for perfect disappears, and peace naturally takes its place. Perfection is a myth created by comparison. We compare our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel and convince ourselves that their life must be better. But everyone, no matter how successful or happy they appear, has their own battles. No life is flawless. The people who seem content aren't those with perfect lives. They're the ones who stopped waiting for perfection. They embraced the messy, unpredictable, beautiful chaos of being human. They learned to find joy not after they fixed everything, but while they were still figuring things out. You can do the same the next time something doesn't go as planned. Instead of feeling defeated, pause and ask yourself, what can I still appreciate in this moment? It might be small, but it's there. Maybe it's a lesson. Maybe it's a laugh. Maybe it's a chance to try again. The ability to turn ordinary or even difficult moments into meaningful ones is what defines inner strength. That's what it means to make every moment perfect, not because it looks perfect, but because you bring the right attitude to it. Think of happiness like a skill. The more you practice finding beauty in imperfection, the better you become at it. Eventually, you realize that you don't need perfect days to be happy. You just need a peaceful heart. And a peaceful heart doesn't wait. It creates. It creates smiles in moments of stress, calm in moments of chaos, gratitude in moments of loss. It takes control of what can be controlled, the response, the attitude, the perspective, and lets go of the rest. That's true freedom. Every single day gives us a chance to start over, to find joy in something simple, to make a moment meaningful. Don't wait for the stars to align. Light your own. Don't wait for a better time. Make now better. Don't wait for life to give you happiness. Give happiness to life. Because when you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start living with awareness, you'll realize that perfection was never the goal, peace was. Happiness was never a destination, it was a way of walking the path. And the moment you understand that, you'll stop chasing happiness and start radiating it, no matter where you are, no matter what happens. That's when every moment, even the imperfect ones, will begin to feel perfectly yours.